Aaron was due August 6th, but he came to us April 30th, 15 weeks early. He had a really, really rough start. About 12 hours after he was born, he had a stroke and both sides of his brain bled out really, really bad. He had to go through surgery when he was about a week old. His bowel perforated. It was probably the most devastating diagnosis he had, and we spent 134 days at Columbus Children's Hospital in Ohio. So for 6 weeks, we just waited for him to heal, and luckily, he gained function. He came home on oxygen, but didn't need it too long, and his dad decided to go back into the Army. With Aaron, we've had to he works overnight, and then I work 12-hour shifts on the weekends just to make sure there's always somebody home with Aaron. Just kind of have to sacrifice other things.
And I cry sometimes because he just melts my heart. He's been so excited about this, though, the van, that all he wants to do is talk about all the plans he's making for places he can go with his family. I want him to have what all you kids have, to do what everyone else gets to do. He may do it in a different way, but he can still do it and enjoy it. And he deserves that, because there's not a kid anywhere that has a better heart.
Bethesda means healing waters, and that's what we're focused on here, is healing the trauma of sexual abuse. Sadly, we as a state rank number one when it comes to adverse childhood experiences. We have a high rate of trauma, abuse, neglect, things like that in our states. And sometimes things like private insurance and such may put kind of limits to the number of counseling sessions that family can have. So when you think about the price tag that comes with weekly therapeutic counseling sessions, a lot of our families just can't afford it. And we want to make sure that there's no barrier between a child and the opportunity to heal. Just this last year, my boys therapist walked down the hallway with a family. He was saying goodbye to them. They had graduated from our program, and my boys therapist was just beaming. He was so happy. Why are you so happy? What was that? What happened? And he shared the story of this young boy who had been sex trafficked for multiple years across multiple states. And that boy had been rescued by law enforcement. Eventually was adopted by a great family, but needed a lot of help because he was suffering PTSD from the trauma he had experienced as a victim of sex trafficking. So they came here to Bethesda. Over a little bit of a year, we were able to work with them, both with their parents and the child, and be able to really recover and overcome some of the trauma and that post-traumatic stress that that boy was experiencing.
I'm Kirsten Averse. I'm Zonder's mom.
I'm Zonder Brayfield, and I was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in May.
I'm Braden. I'm Zonder's stepdad.
Well, back in April 2019, I had some pain in my back doing just normal things. It just kept getting a little bit worse and worse, and eventually I just told my mom, I think I have to go to the doctor, and she listened to me. He took an x-ray, but there was a mass that we found that was kind of close to your heart.
Right after an MRI, they called us and they said he had to be admitted to the hospital because he had a really large tumor. He hasn't been able to go to school. He hasn't been able to play soccer. He hasn't been able to,
I mean, I was definitely pretty surprised. I had no idea. I mean, I know that you applied and that you guys are coming over, but whenever you said that I actually got picked, I was like, wow.
So the Gavin Kids Foundation is a local nonprofit that serves kids with different chronic and life-threatening illnesses, and we do things for them that allow them to be normal kids. So what we're most well known for is our camps. We actually have 6 different ones. We run the season from spring break to fall break. And then year-round, we also do things with them as well. We have 3 different ongoing programs for kids to get connected throughout the year, and then we do different special events all throughout the year, and everything's completely free for them.
Tori, I met Tori when she was 3, and she was diagnosed with neuroblastoma. And she got to the age of 13. And I remember we just came to the end. We couldn't offer her anything else. And so I remember going into the room where we had to talk to the family about this is all we can offer. And essentially told her that, well, we got a month or two to live. And I remember walking out and put my arm around Tori and said, I'm sorry. She said, don't be sorry, because I'm going to live past, because I'm going to go to camp. Now, this was in February. I'm going to go to camp in July. And believe it or not, month came. I called her up and said, how you doing? Oh, I'm going to camp. And she made it to camp. And so after camp, someone told me, said, you think she's cured her cancer? I said, no. It's this power of being connected, and this connection has meant so much in her life. It's what's got her to age 13. I did her funeral 1 month after camp. But on her way home, she said to her mom, she said, Mom, this means so much to me. We got to give back.
The second that you get there, your life has changed. And there's no other way to put it. You know, they say you get there and you're not a one and done, like you're in it forever, and that is the truth. Among Friends was started around a Norman North student who was in a car accident and had a traumatic brain injury. So when her mother, Kathy, realized that there wasn't a place for Jenny to go, like as she was healing and just kind of getting into what their new normal looked like, she started up Among Friends, and that was in 2003.
Without Among Friends, I couldn't have worked at Norman North. I'm a single mom. I couldn't have stayed in the workplace and supported my family because my oldest son needed a place to be, and Among Friends provided that. It gave him a place to be safe, a place to be happy, and a place to feel welcomed.
Well, basically, in this summer, in June, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. It was kind of a shock and a surprise. I had just been really sick for about a whole week, and tried a lot of over-the-counter medication to kind of get things going. And by Sunday, I was vomiting a lot, and he ended up taking me to the ER. And so while I was there, they did a CAT scan. I guess they did a CAT scan, and they found out that I had colon cancer. So they came out and told me that and said, we're admitting you to the hospital. And it was just like all of a sudden, very shocked.
We're ready for the chemo to end too.
Yes.
Because there's a few days of feeling pretty sick to her stomach.
I do the chemo for my boys because I have an older son and he lives in LA, but I want to be able to see them graduate high school and college and get married and have kids of their own, and that's why I do it. I mean, for my own health as well, but for my boys, because that's what my life is about, is seeing them grow up and being there for them. I just can't believe that there's an organization out there that cares so much to recognize people that are in need and stuff, and it kind of just warms your heart at the same time of making you cry and of tears of joy, and it just it's overwhelming, I think, sometimes to think that there are so many people out there that care, and I love it that it's my Norman North family.
My name is Benito Campos. This is my 21st year of teaching school. Early detection is the best thing you can do for yourself if you're going to be facing cancer issues. And right now, I got educated as far as the cancers in human beings. There's 26 different forms of cancers. Mine is light blue, so mine's is prostate. And this shirt was sold here at the school, and Ms. Kite educated me on all these ribbons, what they represent. There are 26 forms of cancers. Mine is this light blue right here. And it's some of them are treatable, some of them are not treatable. And That's what I want to share that story. And of course with this, the front is well said, as you fight like a warrior. Dealing with it and still dealing with it, it made my life a little harder. But again, facing those hard times, it just makes you, it pushes you for greatness. And there's no time to look behind. The only thing you can do is look forward. You can't shoot a bear unless he's threatening your life. That's called the unwritten rules of the wild. What people do is they put food up here. They put food, and they put a ladder down here. A bear sees the ladder, but he cannot connect the ladder to the food. This is us. This is the cure, and this is cancer. So what happens is that we can see cancer, but we're not able to connect it to the cure. This is a beautiful moment for me, because I get with this lesson, I get to continue educating you. And that's just, as an educator, it's a beautiful moment. Once that seed gets planted in your mind, okay, it grows. So what we plant grows. And so hopefully one day when you have faced these challenges, if you ever do, then you'll know how to deal with it. Because again, you must learn how to follow before you're able to learn how to lead.
The donations for us are going to go towards a wheelchair van. Aaron is a little heavy for me to lug in and out of the car anymore, and it's time for us to get a vehicle that we can just wheel him, because it takes both of us to take him anywhere. And we're hoping to get a van so he can get more independence, so he can go shopping and out to eat and hang out with his friends and do whatever he wants to do.
Do all the stuff normal kids do.
Yeah.
And we're excited for this opportunity because it means more kids across the state of Oklahoma will have a place to go if they have this very intimate form of victimization. And while I wish it never happened, I'm so glad that we can be there for them in their biggest time of need.
And so we'll use some money for medical bills. So we have good insurance, but despite insurance, you still have, kind of a lot of deductibles and a lot of out-of-pocket costs. And then because we decided to switch our care to Michigan, we drive back and forth to Michigan and then stay there for, a week, 2 weeks.
So SPUD Week funds will help us never say no and get these kids connected to what they really need.
Those SPUD funds will allow maybe kids who are not able to pay the tuition to come here. So it would allow for scholarships for some kids to come here who absolutely don't have it in their budget.
There's lots of medical bills associated with this. Of course, we got insurance and everything too, but the max out of pocket is pretty high, and so medical bills, honestly, lots of medical bills.
Well, the SPUD funds, for me personally, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I'm always giving. Now it's on the receiving end, but as far as a student-led organization, I'm gonna use it to extend my life as much as possible.